In the spirit of guarding games, I thought I'd make a video for my fellow Titans on how to solo Spire the Watcher for Guardian rank 11. Before I did my solo run this season, I searched the internet for tips on how to run the dungeon on my Titan. I found very little. To be honest, I thought I was shit out of luck. I didn't have Tether, or Arc Staff, or Starfire bullshit, Well of Radiance. I didn't let that stop me though. So, fellow Titans, today I'm going to show you how to solo Spire the Watcher. In the background, I'm going to show 2 runs of getting to damage phase on both Achelos and Persis, and at the end of the video will be screenshots of each build I ran for each boss encounter. PSA, bring tons of rally frags, upgrade modules, and on-level infusion fuel just in case you need it for an item you pull from collections. If you go to orbit at all, you have to restart the run, so prepare to stay in the activity. Now for the subclass, we're going to run Solar Bonk Hammer for survivability. You could run T-Crash, but there's no survivability in that, and it's a waste for the extra damage. It's better to just be consistent with normal weapon damage and staying alive with Radiant Hammers. I'm going to use a Hammer of Soul with a Rally Barricade and a Healing Nade in the event you lose your hammer. Trust me, you Titans are all going to lose your hammers off the map, off in weird corners, somewhere. For aspects, there's only 2 that really are important. Run Roaring Flames for extra bonk damage, and Soul Invictus for faster ability uptime. For fragments, the main ones that are important are Ember of Solace and Ember of Torches. Ember of Torches will make you radiant on hammer kills, so it's essential for staying alive. Ember of Solace pairs nicely with this by giving you increased duration on both radiant and healing nade restoration effects. The other 2 fragments don't matter, run whatever you want. I had some useless ones on that didn't really help me. First boss, Achelos, the bane of every solo runner's patience, because he has so much fucking health. The weapons you want to run are a trace rifle of any kind, Wither Horde, and a linear. I personally chose Cataclysmic and Hollow Denial, but you can do whatever you want. As for our armor, we're going to be hot swapping between 2 loadouts for ad clear and boss DPS. The first loadout uses Syntheseps to increase our melee damage while we're in combat. The ad clear build is used for survivability and stacking armor charges for damage phase. Our mods are also heavily spec'd to give us mega fast healing grenade energy and stacking armor charge when we swap to our second loadout, which has our damage surge mods. Now once we're about to start popping eyes, swap the loadout to our Laurely build, immediately place your rally to get increased reload speed if you struggle with eyes, and get the sunspot protection from Laurely so harpies don't beam you back into orbit. Once eyes are done, throw your hammer at the boss to become radiant, shoot Wither Horde, and start using that linear to DPS. Stay back at your rally barricade for safety during the whole DPS phase. That's it. Swap back to ad clear loadout and repeat till it's dead. This is the ad clear build that I used for the boss fight. And this is the Laurely build that we used when we went into DPS. Now once you've made your way through and stopped dying to the fans, trust me, we all die to the fans, it's time to kill the final boss and beat the dungeon. Finally. Same subclass and aspects as the previous boss, same loadout swapping strategy during DPS. There's only one thing changing. Break out that dusty old Grand Overture from your collections, because that's how we're going to kill the boss. Before we open the middle door to the reactor room at the start of the encounter, run in the side doors to hide in the reactor room. The boss can't follow you in, and harpies rarely do. However, I must stress, rarely, but it does happen, so always be aware that the harpies will try to follow you in. From the safety of these rooms, you can destroy the hydras with your trace rifle and slowly work up the courage to run out and try to open the reactor door. I'd recommend killing as many harpies as you can, but they keep respawning after a bit, so be mindful. Hammer the Minotaur to death and open the door. My best strat was to use my high jump to hover in the middle to shoot the door open. If your feet ever touch the ground, instantly throw a healing nade to be safe. You can die easily in this encounter, so always play safe. After this, proceed as normal and build up your missile volley. Make sure the volley is switched on before damage starts. Also make sure that your Grand Overture is reloaded. That's also very, very important. Make sure to aim a little high with the volleys, as it tends to dip downward and miss shots. The cycle should be volley, then 10 shots, then volley, and then pop your super, and finish the DPS phase with your super. Once you use that second volley of 10, your health is going to start dropping a lot. So insta-pop super to live and continue DPS. Swap back to add clear loadout once you're safely inside the reactor room, and rip and tear till it is done. Some harpies may still be alive in the room after DPS phase, so be mindful of the stragglers. This boss has less health than the first, but the adds are way deadlier and the boss does massive damage too. Make sure to get max resilience, good recovery, and decent high discipline. Since most of our ad clear mods are spec'd to give us healing nade energy, you don't need max discipline, but it helps. If you want to use something like Leviathan's Breath, which keeps the boss stun locked during TPS, go for it. With this same build, just different weapon surges and arc and void reloaders. Lastly, for this encounter, if you have to panic super or you'll die to ads, immediately panic super. The bonk makes lots of super orbs on kills, so you can just wait to start damage phase till you get your super bat. Lastly, one small tip is if you kill a harpy in front of you right before it explodes, as long as you killed it before it exploded, you're not going to take any damage. That's just something to be a little mindful of. I hope some of you crayon eaters found this useful. If you did, share it with your friends and like the video. I'm not the best PvE player, as you can see with my aim when shooting nodes, but the dungeon only took me a little over 4 hours. For you guys, I'm sure it can be done in 2 or 3. Peace out, Titan Gang. I'll see you next time. These are the weapons I used in the first boss encounter. Lastly, this is the DPS build I used for the final encounter.